Previously on Elements Asunder, the party, having gained some interesting new allies, decided to rest at Forte's guest home once again. Upon the morning rising and some of the individuals drinking heavily, Forte was greeted by a mysterious individual who at first called himself Lozo and was later to reveal his true name as Dexel. Forte was able to quickly ascertain that this was no ordinary bounty hunter as he claimed, or mercenary as he claimed, but was in fact somehow related to the country of Drakford to the west. Interestingly enough, the man seemed mostly interested in their now foregone companion of Affy, knowing the half elf's true name as well as their code name, claiming that the parents had sent him in order to get Affy and bring him home, along with the blade that he had stolen. Forte, after a decently tense conversation, uh, sent the interesting man down south to Elden Wind, as he claimed the bartender would have more information for him, before penning a letter to his father that would be delivered upon his return, informing him of the whole situation. After that, the party was also given their official assignment, which would occur within the next 2 days, wherein they were to go to a specific duke's home and be security for a party that he was going to be hosting. Duke Condruk, who Forte informed the party of, was not the kindest of gentlemen. At this point, the party, I believe, still has about a day and a half until their actual mission. So, is there anything you all would like to do? Or would you like to just skip to the night of your mission?
Wasn't I in the room with
Yes, you were also, there was
Alex
also
and
discussion
Kiri?
with Alex. And yes, but Alex had hidden under the blanket and seems fairly unlikely to come out as Kiri hid from Nia in cat form.
Veteran?
Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
Vesvin in cat form.
Um, so is Kiri and or sorry, is Vesper and Alex are they still under the bed?
Uh, y- I don't know if Vesvin is, but Alex certainly is.
Yeah, Veteran's just chilling. Now the knee is gone.
Um, Nia's not in the room. What about JJ and Galthuk?
What are you, JJ Galthuk? What are you two doing?
Is it how I do have we made it back to the house yet or not?
I would say yes at this point.
All right. Veteran, I'm sorry, buddy. I couldn't find anything for you. And he pulls out the 20 gold and kind of hands it forth to him.
Uh, Veteran is still in cat form.
And under
Veteran
the bed.
looks at, well, on top of the bed. Veteran tilts his head at the gold, like, "Do you really expect me to take this at this very moment?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna set it right here on the nightstand or something for you.
But
Veteran
Vesserin,
will
listen,
then
we
lay
can
on
use
top
that
of the
money
gold.
for booze.
What was that, veteran?
He's just Veteran is now laying on top of the gold, like a dragon over his hoard.
But Vestron is off the bed, right?
Yeah,
How
Has
he is.
walked up that
he's
belly,
on
yeah.
he's on the
Okay.
nightstand.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I have to get Alex out from under the bed. So I take a proper stance, getting squatting, like to pick up with my back as I
She's not under the bed, she's under the blankets.
Oh, I thought she was hiding under the bed.
No, she has wrapped herself entirely in the blankets.
Oh.
That changes things.
That changes things, indeed. Hmm. Do I still want to pick up the bed?
You could.
Yes.
I mean, you could.
Oh, I see only one way of getting her out from under the blankets. As I attempt to pick up the bed.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yeah. I would say that's athletics.
24.
Are you attempting to flip it or physically pick it up?
No, I'm just picking it up.
As you all watch, Forte just takes a couple of steps forward, takes a deep breath, squats down, grabs the bottom two legs of the bed, and just lifts it.
Come on, lady. Gotta get up.
You do hear a small eep from under the
Veteran
blanket.
poofs out from cat form and goes, "That's one hell of a deadlift."
Hey, pal, this isn't the first time. And one of the missions in the woods, she refused to get out of the tent.
Ah,
And,
So which is heavier, the bed or me?
that's a good question.
That's a very good question. I would say the bed right now because it does
Because
have
you
a
had-
person on it
Yeah, that's fair.
yes.
who pokes her eye out and goes, "I know you can't do that for long."
I'm gonna walk
Uh,
over to Forte and go.
As
"Here, I'll
soon as
give you a
she
little
sees you, she hides back under.
I'll give you a bit of a boost here, pal." And then
Forte, do you want a little help?
cast? Where is it?
Forte,
Enhance ability.
you want a little bit of help?
Hey, let's see what we can do.
Alright.
Sure. I'm just gonna give him some inspiration.
Ability. Yes.
Oh my god.
And
Alright,
Which
Alex.
version?
I wanted to do. Is it going to be a strength check or a con check to maintain holding?
That's a very good question that I don't need to tell you.
It's
Wouldn't
also
that be-
inspiring a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Feeling nice and buffed. I'm like, all right, Alex.
Wait,
Here
wait,
comes
wait.
the earthquake.
Vesperin, which one are you doing?
I will do Bear's Endurance.
Bear's Endurance. Okay.
Does it matter? He's also inspired.
Forte, what is your plan here?
All right, Alex. Here comes the earthquake. As I start shaking the bed.
No, do a flip. Come on.
As he
What a flipper.
does that, I cast prestidigitation and make like low rumbling noises with it to like mimic an
She
actual earthquake.
is able to hold on pretty well. I need you to make a Constitution check. With
Save.
check with advantage, thanks to Bear's Endurance. You also technically get 2d6 temporary hit points, but I'm not sure if that really matters.
13, but I'm also inspired, right? And is it a D6 or? What's the
I-
inspiration
That is in fact a
It's a D8.
D8.
All right, 16 for the shaking.
You shake. Your muscles do get sore, but your friend's inspiration allows you to continue.
I'd like to
Oh my
help out with thaumaturgy and cause the rumbling of the bed.
Oh, earthquake's intense.
At this point, she does fall out, landing in a pile on the floor.
Oh,
But still
dang,
wrapped in the
I was gonna add a
blankets.
little bit of I was gonna add a little bit of shattering to that, though.
Are you trying to kill her?
No,
not
just the
shatter.
bed.
Please do not shatter.
Why is your solution always shatter?
Glass is expensive.
Never the right solution.
As I
You're
put-
a horrible friend.
Sometimes you're just gonna shatter a person's bed. Come on. what's
It
wrong
has
with
never been the correct answer to a problem.
And
as
as Leroy suggests this, you also Leva also had her hand out at the ready to prepare at the ready to counterspell that shatter immediately.
all right.
So what you're saying is double shattered.
So Alex is
No.
on the floor now, wrapped like a gremlin in the blankets.
as I put down the bed. I kneel on one foot, looking down at her, and like, oh, that brought back good times, huh? That felt like good times, huh?
She gives a small nod, and you can tell she's trying to resist a smile.
If only the rest were here, huh?
The small bit of the smile immediately fades, and she nods. Yeah, I hope they're doing better than I did.
Last I heard, I gotta check up my names, 'cause I remember them. Last I heard, Arder is examining the mountain that showed up recently, out of the blue. Not sure about the other two. But listen, Alex, um, on my travels, I encountered well, I want to say it's an ally who lives in the small town that I never remember the name of. God, Ebonwood? Is that it? Yeah,
You're asking of the town?
the one with the wizard.
That was not Ebonwood, no.
What was that?
That was. I have to look up my names now, even though I literally said it before. Eldenwind.
Eldenwind. So there's we made a friend in Eldenwind. He's working on he's working on finding out what's causing these portals. Could be safe for you to go investigate him. Investigate with him. He's a stubborn old guy, but I feel like you might be safe around. You may feel like you might be safe there.
Is he trustworthy?
He practices the magic. He practices arcane magic, but villagers like him there. And he's keeping them safe from monsters. He actually learned how to control those freaks, believe it or not.
I'll try.
Yeah, he lives in like, was like a windmill, or I look over the rest of the party. I should read my own reports.
I'd say it almost looked like a wizard's tower, just small one.
There's like a windmill kind of shack at the end of the next to the cathedral. There's this weird door which you gotta flex in front of. Just follow the markings and you should be good. Just remember when you see that door to ask yourself what would Forte do.
Don't forget the darkness trap, though. That was a real loop.
It's true. And I gave him our passphrase. So if you tell him, he'll know you're a friend. Shouldn't hurt you.
She nods.
But yeah. I think the church will probably be going to investigate him, if I'm being honest with you. Not the church, the Pope. So it might be best for you to meet up with them and convince him to leave. It might make sense for us to rendezvous later, however. I feel like I'm trying to remember the town that we said Affy might be in. I have that written down, actually. Tavernfall. Okay. And it would make sense for us to try to rendezvous in Tavernfall.
Where is Tavernfall again?
And that's the port city south of us. You know, the one with all the trade and the boats.
Right.
Good ale.
Right. God knows I could use silk.
As soon as Leroy hears that, he just stares daggers at Forte.
Alright. Well, we got a little bit of free time. We'll go down there. We got I'm trying to coordinate a miniature effort there with my pops. After this next job, maybe we'll head down there. It'll be nice to get out of the cold. get a little bit of sunshine.
But the cold's so warm and inviting.
But yeah, Alex, you can meet up with the old man wizard. What's the guy's name? Ugh, that drink you gave me was really good, JJ, but I'm having trouble remembering the wizard's name. Ugh. But yeah, meet the VIP and make your way down there. Try not to attract too much attention, okay?
His name would probably be useful.
Eldor. Eldor the Elemental.
Eldor the Elementus. Listen to Vestrin.
I will also say, if you have a few
She
moments to
seems to shrink back into the blanks a little bit as she glances at Vestrin.
He's a good guy. Don't worry about him.
Might it be because your attacker was a half-elf?
She gives a tiny nod.
I know it might be difficult, but I bear you no ill will for your tiefling blood. Or might ask that you bear me no ill will for mine.
She also, once again, gives a small nod, but it seems like her reaction is more involuntary than anything.
Vestrin just gives a slight nod. Respectfully.
Yeah, maybe I gotta think about it. I gotta ask around the house. See when they're expecting my pops back.
I did want to meet your father, so perhaps I'll have the opportunity to.
No, we can't wait for him, but I need to coordinate a rendezvous.
Hmm.
And I smell that something bad is brewing. Well, something really rancid. How about yeah, meet up with the VIP and try to get him to go to Talonfall with you. Aid him in his research, and I'll try to rendezvous with you in, I guess, 3 weeks' time, maybe. How long would it take us to travel down to Talonfall?
Tavenfall is probably only about 4 days. The bigger issue is the distance to Ebenford. Not to Ebenford, to Eldenwind.
Yeah, that's about 3 days south of here.
So 3 weeks should be a reasonable amount of time. For the
Yeah.
rest of the party. Should give us time to finish up our assignment.
And who knows how long that thing's grown since, you know,
Yeah.
the
What kind?
Feywilds that stand between us and Eldenwind.
The Feywilds.
All right.
I thought it was just.
There is a portal there, right?
Galthuk, did you take note anywhere on a map of where you left your
Yes, I left my my bolt. I took a note of where it's at. Yeah.
This is where you should probably offer that piece of the map to our friend here so she doesn't get lost somewhere.
So as I've been, you know, kind of jotting down like where we've been going, what we've been doing, and kind of keeping an eye of, you know, so I already know like the distance between like the west of here is the mountains. Uh, there's also a trade city there. There's, you know, Eldenwind too, which is 3 days south of here. Town's a day or two away from Eldenwind is called Larnwinch. It's to the east. Islani Isle is where Nia's from. Like I'm mapping this out as I'm learning these new locations to my own self because I have a fascination with map making. I'm gonna go ahead and copy the same map that I've been, you know, jotting down myself to give to her.
Make an intelligence check with advantage.
Awesome. That is not the one that. That's the one that. Or. Oh shit! I spilled the ink.
Oh, oh no.
As you begin jotting this down, you feel distracted and nothing seems to really be making sense with the distances that you're calculating.
No.
You look at it
Oh no,
and
she's gone forever.
Maybe-
it does not look like a functioning map at all.
Maybe you could send. Maybe I can send
Do I-
someone from my house to go with you, and maybe hire. a
Do I
couple
see this
mercenaries
map?
to be safe.
You would, because it would be basically spread out.
I'm just gonna look over it and just be like, this makes absolutely no fucking sense. Don't even give us a piece of paper.
Oh,
Um,
it's all in my head, and I can see the distances. Just, I guess, understanding the distance that we can travel in 3 days is just, it's terrible. I know. I'm not a good artist, but I've got it up here.
Galthic, would a drink help you remember better?
DM, would a drink help me remember better?
You could certainly try.
Let me and then I crack my knuckles, popping them outwards, and I go, yes, please. Can I go ahead and can I get a drink to maybe better this, steady the hands, I guess.
Oh, I have something fun. Can I serve you your drink, please?
Yes.
It is with this I serve Galthic a drop of the green poison from the bug I still have in my inventory.
Okay. Galfuck, as you drink, I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it a poison?
I'm sorry, never mind. You're immune to poison, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a slight sourness to this beer that wasn't there before.
As I'm clearing my throat, this isn't your best stuff. What is this nonsense?
The stuff you were drinking when you were making that map the first time.
Ah, yes. It doesn't age well, but I mean, it does still have alcohol in there. I can feel my hands steadying a bit. How about I give it another shot at the map making?
Okay. Make another intelligence check without advantage this time.
I'd say with disadvantage.
Oh my!
As you look at the map you've attempted to draw, it somehow has turned out to be a drawing of a mug of ale.
I'm just saying.
Do I see this map?
Yes.
Is there a fireplace nearby?
Yes, there would be.
I don't even say a word to Galthic. I just take and throw it straight into the fire pit.
Would I be able to hire mercenaries to escort her?
Yeah, at this
yeah,
rate, it's probably
yes, you would pretty easily.
And would I be able to have someone from my house go with her, accompany as well, someone I trust?
Yes, that would not be a problem.
Can I take drawing lessons by chance?
You could certainly look for them in the city.
I'm going to look, definitely.
But yeah, I will instruct to Alex that Eleanor can probably help her repair her mask. Meanwhile, we need to get you a disguise.
I'm sure I can draw her up as disguise.
Absolutely not,
I
sir.
I would like to point out, map
you
making
like.
and disguise kits are both things you can be proficient in, neither of which Galthuk are proficient.
If you like, shut up all of you. You can borrow my costume clothes. I'm sure those would fit on you fairly nicely.
She glances up at you, who's a good, 2.5 feet taller than her, and at least a good 6 to 12 inches wider than her. I feel like I'd have a better luck fitting into Forte's clothes.
That's saying something. I look at my shirts, most of them having a tear.
We can sew the costume and disguise kits to make it work for you. I'm relatively
actually.
familiar with making these work.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Leva?
Level chimes in here at this point. It goes. Can I say something here? Wouldn't it be best if I, well, buy some clothing for her?
You gotta hide certain features.
That
Well.
is true. That is true. That does.
And
I kind of
I'm
forgot about
not.
that part.
She looks up at you also, Leva, and I'm not sure your clothing would fit me either.
Oh no, not for me. Of course not for me. Like you're like terrible. You're terribly shorter than I am. But like, just like some sizes more. You're more
Actually.
like a human size. So like
Actually,
I was.
Leva, pal. You
Yes?
seem like you know magic. Would you be able to would you be able to try to repair her mask?
Hair.
Yeah, Alex, want to show your mask?
Be able to repair?
It would take some time and probably some gold, but you could
I mean,
certainly attempt it.
I'm not exactly familiar with stuff like this, but I can give it a shot. Is it like what kind of material is it?
She takes out what looks to be a plain white clay mask with a large crack down the middle and places it on the bedside table.
From a glance, is there any like magical properties that I can see on it?
You do notice a number of small runes carved around the outside.
And where the crack is, it doesn't go into any of the runes, right?
It goes through one at the very top, but
I see.
I want you to make a medicine check.
Okay, well, I'm pretty good at those. 16.
I am sending you something. Actually, can you also make an Arcana check for me? I just need to see if you can tie some. Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
I have sent you the information.
I see. So, from what I can tell, actually, this. Hold on, wait, give me 1 second.
No.
A
Would
little
I be able
wording
to
issue.
lend a hand because I know how to read rune, like I know how to work with like runes and stuff.
These are
And I'm-
arcane in nature, more so than what you're used to. Are you fishing in Arcana?
Not Arcana, no. Religion
I'll take a
and
look at it
history,
and see if I recognize any of them.
but like
Well, hold on. Depending on what he says, then I might think. I see. All right. So from what I can tell, the magic is still active. The mask does work as intended. However, the connection between you and, well, this, as I was speaking to our tiefling friend, it's a bit weak. It's not exactly due to like the crack or anything. It's it's due to a lack of confidence.
Confidence.
So, at least from what I can tell, this magic is uh in a sense tied to her, mental state. The more she's nervous, afraid, and like negative emotions will tend to uh damage this mask. Whereas when it will work normally if you, as long as you remain calm. The clay part can be repaired, and like if you wish to fix it, yeah, it can. If you wish for it to be fixed, it can be. But as it stands, the magic is still active.
That's great news. Hear that, Alex?
He nods, but how do I get it working again?
Well, let's again. It's your emotions. That's basically you and the mask are one. Whatever you feel, the mask also feels. And as long as you remain confident, or at the very least calm, uh, it will do as you wish. But again, because it is tied to your emotions, if you're being scared or any kind of bad thoughts you might have will cause this to weaken, in a sense.
I think a disguise might be best just in case.
I hand over the mask to her, and does she take it?
She does. Somewhat hesitantly, but she does take it.
I make a motion to put my hand over her hand. Does she react?
She hesitates for a moment, but slowly places her hand on top of yours.
I talk to her. I tell her softly. Hold on. I tell her, you have nothing to fear. Fear is an illusion. What truly matters, even if we fail, even if everything goes wrong, what matters is that we stand up. There's nothing to be afraid from failure, or for anything bad that happens. Just you have to make sure to keep on walking. This
I'm gonna
mask,
go on.
uh, this mask is proof of that. It will be your. As long as you keep on walking, this mask will always be your friend. And that's.
I'm gonna need you to give a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
But wait, there's more.
They're not my forte. Oh God.
Uh,
She
Do I have anything
Lens.
for this?
for a nat 1?
Yeah, no, I have no spell for this.
You were inspired if you want to use that immediately.
That wouldn't help with the net
That-
one.
It really
That
wouldn't
doesn't
help.
give me an advantage. Oh my God. Of all the time to try and give an emotion.
I would like to push Leva aside and I assertively tell Alex to get up. In
Make
an authoritative voice.
an intimidation check.
We're gonna
good at
flood
those,
this
actually.
girl with a whole bunch of emotions.
I'm good at these, actually. Proficient in 16.
She somewhat hesitantly stands, shaking a little bit.
I yell at her to remember why she joined the Cinder Legion. I tell her to remember the vow we made when we were kids. And if you want to see that come true, you have to get your spine back. Put the damn thing on.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion with advantage.
Please, for the love of God, please succeed. That's a lot better.
She gets a small bit of a spark that you used to know back in her eye as she nods and puts the mask on. After a moment, the blue in her skin fades and the horns disappear. She looks like a normal human.
All right. I'm trying to remember her rank.
I look
I
over at.
don't have a rank. Can I just make it up then?
Sure.
All right. First Sergeant Novell. Your assignment is to travel to Bleakwood? Eldenwood. To travel to Eldenwood.
Eldenwind.
Eldenwind. To talk to the VIP inside of a mill like structure next to the cathedral. You will have him take a look at your mask and you are to aid him in his research. You are both to make it to Tavenfall within 3 weeks' time. Are your orders understood?
Sir, yes, sir. As she
I will
immediately salutes.
I will try. I'm pacing back and forth while I'm giving the speech. I will try to lend you aid of some mercenaries and maybe some help from House Chevalier.
Very much appreciated, sir.
This journey will take you through the Fey Wilds. There will be dangers you must overcome. Perhaps there might be a course to go around it. Do not engage anything dangerous. Understood?
Understood.
Your drop-off point will be the entrance of the city. You are to find this mill, this cathedral, and the mill next to it on your own. Make sure you are not followed.
Got it, sir.
As I give her a salute.
She salutes back.
And at ease.
And relaxes.
All right, pal. I'll see you in 3 weeks. For now, take it easy, relax. I'll see what I can get, what resource I can do, and I'll get you a disguise kit in case it makes you more comfortable.
Thank you, Porte. I'm gonna go back home for a bit and prepare to leave.
Make sure you make your way back here before the night sets. Understood?
She nods, and then heads out.
I look at Forte and I go, "You're good at this."
Don't get to lead your own unit if you're not.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Anyway, I got some preparations to make of my own now. Our next mission starts tomorrow evening. So, at ease, everyone. Relax. Prepare however you need to.
Where should we meet?
We can meet here. It's around noon, so we can plan our course of action. You may feel free to spend the night or return to your own place, as needed. Where's our little one, Nia? I bang on the door and yell, Nia, come down.
From
Last
a
I
random
remember, she was
like
looking for a cat.
oh. From a random like closet thing, I just like shove the door open. I'm just like, hello, you called me?
I want to debrief you about the assignment. We're going to be around a lot of shady nobles. I know you're looking for one in particular.
I am.
And if we do find this person, I wish for you to inform me, but do not engage. Understood?
And I just say like the happiest voice ever. I'm gonna commit murder.
No.
It's gonna droop for a moment, just like, oh, Mr. Forte, Captain, sir. I have a question.
But you may ask.
For this party, can we dress up?
We are security. We are not the guests.
If we dress up, we can blend in. And then they won't know we're security, and then we can be all sneaky.
I don't think you understand the role of security.
She does have a point, though. Maybe not her. She would be a little bit too obvious.
Please.
I look at JJ. You, however, could be interesting.
As I grasp my hands together, I just have a simple face and go on.
We can have you appear as a guest. Maybe you can gather some intel for us.
So you like me to schmooze a bunch of nobles, is what you're saying?
Sounds like a good time for you.
Will there
Put
be a
your
buffet?
expertise to work.
Just make sure you gather whatever intelligence you need. You may act accordingly, as needed.
Oh, and if you try to scam any of them, at least do it with tact.
They're all dirty crooks there.
At this point, just kind of like
Yes.
ask.
They
Oh.
just don't particularly want it coming back on us.
And at this point, just kind of ask like, please. I'll be like a chameleon. You won't even know I'm standing out.
Chameleon's an animal that's native to Optigrad, considering they are tropical.
They would not be, no.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a green lizard that gets extra green so he can hide among the greenery. I read about it.
I don't want to roll insight. Being green will make you stick out, dear.
I'm not gonna wear green. There's no green in my outfit, I promise.
No,
As
we'll have
someone
JJ
who
be
ha-
our plan.
As someone who has been around the world quite a bit, would I know what a chameleon is?
You would, yes.
I'm going to correct Nia for the sake of Forte. She means they can change color at will to blend into their surroundings. Not just green, just any color.
Interesting. That means that JJ will be our chameleon.
I think that's the. I don't know him in person, but I think that's probably for the best. Less likely to.
But would you like to be the +1?
I'd rather not. People probably might recognize me.
But I need a date to accompany me.
And at this
Are you
point,
asking me out on a date?
Did I receive what kind of information about what kind of gala this is? Like, is it just a gathering of like corrupt nobles?
It would actually be a masquerade gala.
A masquerade?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking you could just say you're out from one of the providences.
Hmm?
Would I know like the name of like a very minor noble house? that has like no chance of being there?
You would, but most nobles would probably. I guess with the mask, yeah, they wouldn't really be able to tell. A minor noble house is House Galatia.
Glacia. So you can say that you're an envoy from House Glacia. They should be pretty small. Nobody knows about them. Just don't make too much of a scene. I don't want to bring attention to you. I just want to see. I just want you to gather and tell why they're there.
And how would I know what these people look like per se?
You wouldn't. But they don't know what you look like either.
So what am I looking for?
This event's a masquerade. I just need you to linger among them. Talk. Interact. Gather information. Their dealings.
And how?
House Glacia deals with. They deal with like. What would House Glacia deal with? Like.
They kind of just control a small bit of the territory to the north of Ebenford, which is essentially mostly wastelands.
House
You couldn't even say
Glacia.
farmland.
House
Nope.
Glacia seeks to expand their territory past the frozen wastelands. So you shouldn't be asked too many questions about what you do.
So is that like warmonger?
They're more like, how do I explain it? They're more like profiteers. They buy out land that the people can't afford and take it from them that way. Dirty.
Sounds very colonial.
They buy land that is foreclosed and they own it. For cheap. This should make you fit right in. You understand your role? And at a moment's notice, I'll need you by me in case a fight breaks out. In case a fight breaks out,
Sounds like fun.
Return to your usual apparel and secret.
It is. With that moment, I grab the mask on my face and transform into more like noble clothing.
With a mask, because of the masquerade.
And you describe the clothing.
Do you do like a Sailor Moon transformation?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Would the silhouette be that of like his human form or his elephant form?
The elephant form.
Craig, can you please in post put like an elephant in like a dress, but like all like blanked out, and like a white silhouette?
Oh God.
That was at 48:15. Okay.
That I gotta see.
Do it. Okay.
Alec, you gotta sell it now.
So
It is with this you see Leroy wear very embroidered gold and with sides of green shirt, in which it looks as though fine jewelry is just casually around his neck and wearing rings and bracelets across his body. Oh no.
Very good. And your cover will be that we implanted you as an undercover agent. This way, Crookford won't ask too many questions. Yes, I think this will work. And are you wearing? Is he wearing any kind of mask? Because this is a masquerade.
My usual mask becomes visible now.
what does your usual mask actually look like in this situation?
Essentially very similar to our friends, actually, complete with a couple of runes on it.
Would you be able to change the appearance of your mask, in case anyone there is knowledgeable of what it is?
Let's go, pot of great face.
I think this is. I love the tongue in cheek in this, and Forte does too. So that'll work.
Okay. It's at this point that Nia walks back in a
Oh,
certain outfit.
oh wait, hang on. So I will describe it to the group, but I will also send a visual demonstration in the chat as well, because I do not believe that words alone could do this justice. So basically, Nia is wearing her party outfit, which is like one of those like tuxedo shirts. So it's like kind of like a t-shirt with like the tuxedo pattern, and then this neon pink frilly tutu with the bow on it, and something that looks like ye old Timberlands on her feet. She's wearing this and a big shit-eating grin.
With the giant spiked hammer still on her back.
Yeah.
I don't have suggestion. I'll need to change that later.
Change what?
Forte just doesn't have a comment to say. Well, I guess if nothing else, we can use it as a decoy.
It is.
Hey,
It does stand
guys.
out.
And then just kind of like twirling around, just like, you like it?
I pay no attention on talk to level. You said that you might be recognized down there?
Well, I never really did meet any noble people in my work down there, but I don't know. I'd rather not. Risk anything.
I think for the sake of all of us, it might be beneficial for all of us to wear a mask of sorts. Tis a masquerade.
That makes sense. Even security has a. We might have need to hide ourselves anyway.
In that case, I'm giving everyone an assignment to buy a mask for the mission. We will write it down in our expense report and get compensated at the end of the mission.
All right then.
Don't go too crazy. Is that it?
Is it on our dime or is it on somebody else's?
We will be compensated. We'll be reimbursed at the end of the assignment.
In that case, I don't see why not.
But do not go too crazy. You spend over 10 gold, and I'm gonna have to justify. You're gonna have to write a justification of why it was necessary.
Fair enough. It's right now dark outside, right?
Yes, it is dark.
I guess I'll find one tomorrow. In the morning. In the shopping district tomorrow then. So at this, if there's nothing else, I will be heading home now.
We will meet back here at. Let's say actually meet back here at 10 in the morning.
In the morning. Are we gonna buy a mask in group?
I wish for us to regroup and discuss the timing of everything for the day, the scheduling aspect of the day.
I suppose it can't hurt to be too careful. So okay, that works for me.
Nia, you may spend the night here.
Okay, thank you.
I have to talk with Steiner before and do some other errands.
In that case, I'll be going now then. Good night, everyone.
Good evening and dismissed.
As Lev is leaving right now, I'm like, I guess we can't go to Giselle's then, huh?
And I like to put my hand on Galthak's shoulder. Galthak, I will ask for your assistance finding mercenaries tomorrow.
Aye, yeah, we can do that.
You seem to be able to. You seem to have a grasp of people's character, so this will be important. This will be useful. Beat out the bad ones from the good.
Yeah, I don't see a problem in that.
I look over at Vesserin and I extend an invite to him as well.
Vesserin? Did you mute
Mute.
yourself?
Yeah, apparently. I look over to Forte with a thumbs up and go, "You get it."
All right, as I will make my way out of the guest chamber and try to find Steiner. And I guess we can just Alec and I could just like,
Yep,
type what
for
we're doing.
expediency's sake, is there anything else anyone wants to do during this night?
I'd like to look inside the library, see if there's anything how to draw books.
So you would have to go to the public library. Forte does not have a library in his home, except for his father's study, unless you would like to attempt to sneak into there.
I wouldn't sneak into there, but I'd say, hey Forte, do you have any maps and stuff like that that I could take a look at around the?
I feel like I'd be inside the house at this point, right?
You
Or-
would be, yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could try to find me there.
Yeah, I'll
Have
open,
JJ send up a message. Wait, that's line of sight, isn't it? Never mind.
all right. I'll make my way into the house, the main house, to see if I can catch him before he actually retires for the night.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
It's better than a 3.
It is better than a 3, but you are unable to find him yourself. After a couple of minutes, you would ask a maid, who would inform you that he would likely be in his own room at this point.
It looks like I missed him just barely, though. I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the room then. I wouldn't want to bother somebody inside their room. And then I'll just turn around and find my way back to the area
Roll
where
me
everybody
another
else is.
d20, please.
Okay. Oh shit!
So,
What's up with all these nat ones?
Galthuk is completely lost.
Unfortunate.
You do find a small man-made lake.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody around it with me that I can ask for directions?
There does not appear to be.
Oh, it looks like we lost JJ as well.
Yes.
Uh,
But there does not appear to be anyone around.
all right, so I'm gonna kind of head back the way that I just came, hopefully finding the house. You kind of walk the perimeter of it. Maybe I can get the guest house through that.
Roll me another d20.
Nope.
So, as you walk around, you spend about an hour walking the perimeter before you find yourself once again at the lake.
Could have sworn I came this way as I kind of like scratch the back of my head and kind of, itch the gruff of my beard. I look up to the sky and I'm Morden. Show me the way. And I ask for guidance from Morden.
Okay, roll me 2d20s.
A 9 and a 12.
Wow.
So, about 2 hours later, Vesrin, you hear the door slam open as Galthuk walks in looking exhausted.
You, my friend, look like you need a good sauna chill.
Oh, yeah. Man, I hope it's not near a
Perhaps.
lake. I found that twice.
Which, by the
You found a
way,
lake?
Galthuk, you noticed as you finally made your way to the guest house, that the lake was only about 100 feet away from it.
Shit.
Oh no!
Yeah, I felt right there. Kind of
In
point.
fact, the sauna was right between the lake and the guest house.
Oh, you mean that?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that one right there. I found that. I think it was
Given
may
the
have been
amount of
3
time
times
that you
now.
were out, I would have thought that you would have found a completely different one.
Nope. Yeah, I got lost in there. I must be tired. I don't know. Or yeah, let's go hit the sauna for a bit, man. I could
Sounds good.
definitely use that.
A bit of ale. I'm walking over to the. Like I said, didn't JJ bring the barrel liquor in to the guest house, or is it still in the cart?
JJ, how much of the liquor did you bring?
Technically, none. They only showed us to the cart, and I kind of just poured a couple swigs for me and Cray.
Okay, I thought you brought the barrel.
Nope, that's still there
Gotcha.
because it seems safe there.
Well, I'll open it up, and seeing that there was a lack of ale, I will just grab one of the bottles of wine and go, guess this is it.
All right. I go ahead and I just strip. I'm walking.
Yep. Jumping in immediately, tending the coals.
Okay. So, how long do you both intend to stay in the sauna?
Until the bottle is sufficiently
So, you guys stay in the sauna for about 10 minutes,
empty.
and the bottle has been emptied.
Oh man, I wish there was more of this. I'm gonna. Was there more of this? I mean, I could run and go grab some real fast.
I think there was still some left.
So I pop up and just start walking out the front door and start heading towards the guest room again.
I'm really tempted to say roll me another d20, but I won't.
I already had it locked and loaded if you did. I do my mistake when I popped up to do it.
You know what? Roll me another d20.
I will do it.
Oh my god!
Okay, well, the DC was 2, so
Thank God.
you are able to pretty easily walk the all of 10 feet between the sauna and the guest house without getting lost.
Claps.
So I go in there, I grab one bottle with my left hand, grab another one with my right, tuck that under my armpit, grab a third one, and then kind of shove that in between my forearm, and then grab a fourth one.
Are you heading back to the sauna as well?
I am definitely heading back to the sauna now.
Okay. You head back to the sauna with 4 of the bottles of wine.
I like the way you think, my friend.
As I get there, I go, oh, here's one for you, and then I grab the other 2 and I set them next to me, and I just sit back, lay back, pop the cork on one of them, give it a nice little smell, and then take a swig.
I'll grab one of the others and down the hatch.
Okay. So, for expediency's sake, I'm going to say you guys spend a decent amount of time in the sauna, relaxing, and you do not get lost later. As you do eventually return to the guest house to get some sleep.
I got my seeing eye cat with me. Thanks, veteran.
Got you. I'll make sure you don't find the lake that's right next to our place 3 times.
As we're walking though, kind of want to have the conversation. What you thinking about the two fresh bloods that are here now?
Well, both of them are eccentric in their own ways.
Did you hear that little one coming from me? That's kind of funny, right? As I kind of jab him, like, with my elbow. The little one always wanted to have her hands on blood or something. She want to murder somebody.
No, what? Did you really blame me for being so afraid of her?
Nope, not even the slightest. Kind of keeping an eye on that one myself. Make sure I'm not the next one she wants to murder.
Fair enough.
Oh, and the tall one, busty one. Oh man.
Besserin breaks out laughing. Very true. She is, well, can't say I've really been around her enough to really judge her character.
I'd say I like her. I got to spend the day
From what
with
I
her
have
yesterday.
seen,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. That did happen. Forgot about that.
Yeah, she seems quite nice. Unfortunately, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill in kind of the details that how I'd learned that she had lost her place. Her family had perished, and she kind of moved over to another location that kind of took care of her for a while. Just kind of filling them in, some of the stuff, and I really feel for her. Yeah.
Well, she is very resilient, and
Yeah, she's been through a lot. I can definitely tell you that. I keep my eye on her for another reason, though. Just make sure she's kind of being taken care of, and nothing comes to harm to her.
fair enough. Besserin kind of gives a bit of a shrug. I feel lost in this country in a sense, but my will to help people is still there. That's really the only thing I'm holding on to.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I found you, and then I give you a pat on the back. I mean, you're a real good guy, real stand up.
I appreciate it. I mean, I should let you know that I did kind of coerce Taffy into jumping out that window at the hospital.
Yeah. Is it your fault that they listen, though? I mean, really?
That's what I'm saying.
It always
got
goes
me through
back.
the door scot-free. It drew the gods outside. I just walked through the front door. It was very convenient.
I mean, really, my parents always asked me, if your friends go jump into a volcano, would you follow? And I know to think for myself, and I wouldn't have done that, but Effie decided to.
Vesserin has a bit of a blush now. Jumping into a volcano sounds fun.
That's it is, I bet. You love the fire, don't you? I've noticed that.
Fire is more than just heat.
It's life.
I think I might have had one too many bottles of wine.
as I put my hand on your shoulder. Oh, reaching up really, really high too, like tippy toes.
Yeah.
Me too, friend. Me too. And then we
I would like you
finally
to make a dex check.
Read it again.
Galfuck specifically.
Oh, me specifically. All right.
Yes.
I do have to reopen this second. Pick a sheet. There we go. This is not going to be good.
Oh.
As you go on your tippy toes to attempt to pat Vesrin on the shoulders, you immediately lose your balance in the snow and fall face first into it.
Oh my, Galfuck, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Holy shit, this is cold
I'm
on the
gonna kneel
willy.
down and pat his shoulder. I can do that much easier than you can.
That's fair. That's fair. And I'm gonna reach up and grab for a hand, see if he can help me up.
Immediately helps you up, gets you on your feet.
Steadying
Galfuck,
myself.
I want you to do a strength check. And Vesrin, I'd like you to also do a strength check.
You got it.
Are you trying to see if I can roll above a 12? Because it doesn't look like it's happening today.
Believe in Oh.
Really either.
Honestly, believe in yourself.
I believe in Vesrin.
Yanks you up, nearly pulling you off your feet as you stand. I was actually going to check to see if you accidentally pulled Vesrin down, so it's a good thing you rolled low. I did not expect the nat 20 from Vesrin.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It's not
goodness.
twelve.
Saves the day. Or rather, Vesserin saves Galpa.
Yes.
Your arm does feel like it was nearly pulled out of its socket, though, as Vesrin is a decent bit drunk as well.
Yep.
Oh man, I guess you don't know your own strength. When you pulled me up, I went up 2 inches.
No, you're just heavy. I had to give it my all.
Oh, fair enough.
Pretty sure he just called you fat.
That's possible.
So, is there anything else anyone would like to do this evening?
I think I'm passing out on the couch.
Okay.
Actually, with your permission, I would like to see if I can make a bit more of the restorative ointment.
You can do that. Give me a check, please.
So it's just a D4. So, but or do you want me to like actually make a medicine check?
Make a medicine check. Okay, yeah, you're able to do it. Though it does take you a little bit into the night, as it does take some time to make the ointment again.
Yeah. Fair.
You will be sleeping a little bit later into the day.
Okay.
And with that, everyone heads to sleep.
Forte will probably get up early with Steiner to do the things we discussed.
Simple enough.
I deducted the gold from my inventory already.
I would like Forte to make a wisdom save, though.
Save?
Mm-hmm. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Right, so next morning comes with no odd dreams or anything of that nature. And Forte, after dealing with what you've done with Steiner, you walk into the guest house to see Vesrin, Galfuck, and I assume JJ splayed out around the living room once again.
And my question, am I in my armor?
Would you be in your armor at this point?
No. Actually,
no.
it's not. It's currently not equipped on my sheet, so no, I am not in my armor. Hey, I should do that later though.
Speaking of Neo, where did you choose to sleep?
Oh, I found like some random bedroom. I was like, I spent my time just like waddling around the house, and I found some random bedroom, and I fell asleep there.
Okay.
I would like to stealthily, without disadvantage, because I'm wearing my armor, tiptoe to like wake up Galthuk and Vesserin without waking up the others.
You mean JJ and Nia?
No, I
no,
like
no.
I slept in the bedroom. I go downstairs.
No, I mean, I just want to be. I don't know if I have to even roll stealth. I just want to quietly wake up Galthuk and Vesserin.
Okay, that's simple enough. I'm not going to make you roll stealth for that.
Okay.
Galthuk, Vesserin, I would like you both to make Constitution saving throws, though Galthuk, I would like you to do it with advantage.
See, you're trying to see higher than a 12. I get it.
That would be nice.
Is that Constitution saving? Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Vesserin, as you are quietly shaken awake by Forte, the light begins to pierce through your eyelids, and you immediately feel a blinding pain in your head. As you have a hangover this morning.
I'm gonna sit up. I'm gonna look at Forte. I'm gonna need some water, my friend.
You don't look so good. Yeah, I get you some. I'll get you some of that bean juice, some of that hot bean soup I was drinking. Coffee.
That sounds wonderful.
Should wake you up.
Galthuk, as you rolled higher than a 12, you are perfectly fine and without. The DC was in fact 12. You wake up without any hangover, though you are a little bit tired.
I think I was a little bit tired from the walk. Holy shit.
Walk? Did you guys go out partying last night?
No, I
We
just
wandered to the lake 3 times before coming in.
Yep, definitely
This
found that
has
thing
brought
3
me these
times.
temples.
Oh, you went for a swim?
Nope. I went for a
That
fall
woke
after
me
the
up.
drink, but yeah, I found the lake 3 times last night. Got a little lost. I was kind of looking for you. I wanted to see if you had any kind of I don't know, books on maps, cartographies, and whatnot.
Oh yeah, there's plenty in my dad's study, my pop's study.
Would you mind if I like borrowed one that maybe he had a secondary one of, or?
Ooh, I do not have nearly enough authority to give you that permission.
Oh, fair enough. Then I'm just gonna have to make it over to the to the main library today.
Well, yeah, it's time. But yeah, I talked to Steiner. He got some good candidates. Let's just make sure that they're a good fit for our sensitive friend.
Am I in the room with the group as well?
You are in the other room, likely still asleep.
Wow.
I ask, I guess as we go back to the house to meet with Steiner, I ask for some coffee for everyone involved.
It has already been prepared.
Ah, you guys know me well. As I let out a big hearty laugh. And I take I basically just chug it.
Are you going to wake up JJ and Nia, or?
Let's just say that when I was talking to Galthuk and Vesserin, that I was loud enough that they can hear, so they can get up on their own if they want to.
Okay.
Loud ass motherfucker.
You just like go to the house and say that.
Yeah, basically.
Ah, JJ, you want to join us?
This is, I believe, now the 4th or 5th night in which I'm having this odd concoction of yours, and I find it better every time.
That's how it goes. It's like,
You have a stronger version of this.
Veteran's gonna walk over, grab a cup, and pour himself some. Slowly taking a sip. Oh, this is good. Start drinking.
I could ask for the staff to brew you a stronger one, though. Don't know if you like it that
What
much.
what would a stronger one be?
It would taste more bitter up until the point that it tastes sour, pal. Though if it tastes sour, I heard this because they burned the beans.
At this
Let's
point, I
do
kind
it.
of like walk into the room and just like, "Good morning. What's that smell?"
This is coffee.
Beans.
Oh. Are there beans in it? I heard beans.
This is bean soup, effectively. We roast the
Oh.
beans and then we boil them, and we drink the
Bean
nectar.
tea.
Doesn't smell
Well, we
like
have to
any.
crush the beans too.
Doesn't smell like any beans I've eaten before. Can I have some?
There you go.
Hey. And I go and I like take a sip of this coffee for the first time in my life, which might or might not be a mistake on Forte's part.
I would like you to roll a d20.
Okay. Oh dear.
So, as soon as the liquid passes her lips and goes down her throat, suddenly you see her tiny eyes grow big. Nia, this is the greatest drink you've ever drunk in your life, and you feel amazing. Hopped up on so much caffeine and energy, you cannot possibly believe it.
Did she drink a Forte-sized cup?
She did.
Oh, beautiful. I'm impressed.
I just like down the rest in one go.
Impressive.
Mm.
People's first time, they usually complain about the bitter taste.
And just like vibrating aggressively. I'm just like whispering really quiet, like, "I'm speed." And it's like,
He's
just like
basically
aggressively
on
like
haze.
I'm basically on like very strong drugs right now.
Do you have haste right now?
Yes, she essentially does.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is gonna crash so hard.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. Because effectively, I can handle alcohol very well because I'm immune to poison, but caffeine doesn't count as a poison, and I am a very, very small lady.
Hmm.
And I'm now just like shaking aggressively and like twitching, and it's like I'm full of so much energy, I don't know how to expel it.
Right now, the entire time she's sitting, you all hear, if you could hear the tapping, as the chair is shaking and seemingly vibrating against the wooden floor.
Surprisingly reminds me of my first time. It was fun. Anyways, are we ready to move out? Nia, I need you to be on your best behavior.
Okay. And then I just like run, like I aggressively like speed out the room as I go put on the party outfit that I have aforementioned before.
Would the closest person to me be JJ right now?
Yep.
I whisper over to JJ. So, you know I gave her the coffee?
What's up, bud?
After the high comes the low.
Mmm.
You should be
Looking
nice.
forward to seeing that part.
You should be nice and mellow.
Veteran who is hungover and just like downing this fucking coffee, looking at it like, this is magic.
Your headache
Okay.
does begin to fade with that.
Best,
That's
or Forte.
Hmm?
Whenever I drink too much, I want this.
Don't know if that'll be a good idea, pal. Do
Oh.
pretty bad stuff to your heart.
Hmm.
Drink
Bad
responsibly.
things to your heart.
Drink
What is in those beans?
Oh. I think how to explain it. It makes you very energetic, and then you either have to drink some more, or or the energy tampers off. So if you drink responsibly, you'll be able to be productive, then slowly go back to normal. if you drink a little bit too much like our friend here, well, you get to take a nice nap.
Do research on these beans. I need to know what makes them tick.
Around this point, you do hear a knocking at your door as a maid opens it and lets Leva into the room.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I trust everyone has had a good sleep, and as she says that, she takes a sniff in the air. Is there a very obvious stench of alcohol in the air?
No, there is a very obvious stench of coffee, though.
Oh, it's only coffee. Okay, I was that. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Actually, would I know what coffee is or no?
You would, yes.
Okay. Coffee.
Like so?
Yes, please and thank you.
She gets poured a glass. Anyway, we do need to go back to business, though. Steiner, can we examine the mercenaries?
Steiner walks in. I did not know you wanted to examine them, sir. I've
I just
already
wanted to.
hired them.
Ah, you think they're of good character?
They are men that used to work under your father.
Nah, can't ask for better. They need
Quite.
any more equipment for their journey? Maybe a carriage?
They have their own carriage and horses already.
Very good. Tell them when they come back, I'll treat them to a night on the town.
I'm sure they'd appreciate that, sir. Is there anything I can get you and your companions?
Well, you just gotta go get some supplies from town. As I slip him over a letter to give to Forte's dad, a second one.
Very
This one,
good, sir.
this one details what Alex's objective is, and that they should be heading to Tavernfall.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Steiner.
He bows and walks out.
All right. Well, let's see. We said Alex should be here around noon. What time is it currently?
It's 10 a.m.
10. I guess we can quickly go get our masks and come back.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your plan?
Well, that's my plan, at least.
I got my pot of greed mask already, so.
Shopping trip round 2.
Let's do this. I do need to find out if there's a cartographer here in town that I can, in the city that I can possibly learn from.
Forte, you would know that there would be a cartographer somewhere in town, though you haven't personally ever gone to him.
What about like at the? I guess at the palace would be a little too much.
Yes, very likely.
I mean, I just talk Alphic, so I know where he is.
You know he would probably be somewhere more to the west of the city. He wouldn't be in the shopping district, but
I
he
guess
would be
I'd point.
close by.
But I point to him and say that he's probably the cartographer would probably be west. Maybe by the DMV, maybe by the carriage services. Try there.
Okay.
Want me to get you a mask while you're looking for him?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, it'd be great. I'd be grateful if you did. I don't want to cause anybody to be late to the appointment.
All right, I give him a fist bump gesture.
Oh yeah, I return it.
Hey. There we go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Nia just kind of like runs back into the room. Like she's still like super hyper, but she is now in her fancy party outfit. And she's
Oh, it's at this point that suddenly she crashes.
Oh. literally just like mid run, I just like kind of like start like slowing down, and like, is there a carpet on the floor?
No, it is a wood floor.
Oh, is there like a couch or something?
Not in this room. This would be the dining room. There is a
Oh,
table and a number of chairs.
all right. So I'm kind of just like, you got, you got, oh my, I'm gonna take a nap, and I just kind of like stop and just like curl up in the floor and just like fall asleep and just like, it's like snoring.
So
Um,
who's actually going to get the masks then?
Not me. I'm like knocked out.
I guess I'll get one for her too.
At the big, it wouldn't matter if it's too big on there, right? It's shit's probably still
I'll just get a kid-size one. Should be good enough.
works. That works too.
Okay.
Anyway, let's
Do you
go.
guys want to go through the whole thing, or do you want to skip through for expediency?
For the sake of time, can we just describe the masks we buy?
Sure. I will say it would be 2 gold for each of you, except for the one you are buying for Nia, which is going to be 5 silver.
Okay. So for me that would be 4, 5, 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if you would all be so kind to describe the masks that you have purchased, except for Nia, who will have their mask described by Forte as well,
And Galthuk.
Right.
and Galthuk. So first, JJ already has his mask. Vesrin, what mask did you buy?
I bought a black and red scaled mask that almost looks like dragon scales.
Okay. And Vera. Or Leva.
I was about to say what? um, Mine is a more simple one. It's one of those like it, it looks like one of it kind of has like it's a bronze coloring with like floral prints, I guess, in not prints but like in engravings on it, and with like a tiny little like feathering on the side.
Okay. And Forte, can you describe your 3 masks?
Okay. So for Galthuk, I got him like a metallic looking plague doctor mask.
That's dope.
Okay.
I'm not there, but I know it's dope.
With room for his beard, I assume.
Of course. For Nia, I got her like because she showed the ensemble that she wanted to wear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got her one that looks like pink and fluffy with like a horn in the center.
Am I still asleep at this point?
Yes.
All right. I just kind of like snore a bit.
As for myself, I got myself like a mask that covers half my face and both my eyes. So like the I guess we'll say the left half of my face is covered, and like my forehead like up to the nose, so you can only really see my mouth and like the right side of my cheek.
Okay.
And it's like adorned in like a kind of like silver purple, like silver lines with like purple details to match my outfit, match my uniform.
Now, here's the thing. Cray, if you could just be so kind as to commission somebody to draw those for us.
Try my best to do that.
I mean, I
kidding,
could try to
obviously.
draw it, but it's just gonna be really bad.
I can try and see what I can do.
As far as you, Galthuk, please roll me an investigation check.
All right. And we continue.
So, Galthuk, it's going to take you until about 12:30 to get back to the house. So, just for expediency's sake, you do find after a good long search the cartographer. What did you want to ask him about, though?
I'm trying to figure out how do you understand space on such a small piece of paper when jotting them down? I mean, what would be the rule of thumb? I want to get guidance on how to actually do these maps to make the
You,
length.
You are asking me to simplify the entire career of cartography.
No, not simplify. Just I need a root understanding, and then from there I can build on my own understanding. But the fundamentals of icons, such icons that you use, understanding the distance between two spots.
This would take quite a while. You understand, yes?
I am definitely a fast learner.
Okay. I want you to roll an intelligence check with disadvantage. You have absolutely no idea what the hell he's talking about as he attempts to explain it to you.
Can you say that one more time? I didn't catch that last part. The past half hour.
Perhaps we should.
I've got 10 gold if you do it, sir.
Make it 15.
15 deal.
He looks slightly surprised, but okay. Make me another intelligence check with disadvantage.
Herman.
By the way, check, not save.
Oh, same. You use the same numbers.
Okay. So you do understand it a decent bit more. You feel like it's going to take you a number of lessons to get very good at cartography, but it's more understandable than it was.
So this is called a legend, right? What you said down here in the bottom left, and that's how you understand distance.
Yes, that is the most basic.
And I get the differences in terrain. Do you by any chance have like a book, a little booklet that might have like the differences of terrain that I might be able to take with me along and study?
A booklet, no, but we can likely give you a book of sorts.
I love books.
It would be another 2 gold, though.
I will graciously accept that, as well as do you have any tools that I can purchase off of you that would allow me to, write these in the finer details?
Let me check in the back. He's going to head to the back and check for cartography tools. He comes back a little bit later. They are slightly used, so I can give you a slight discount. 13 gold sound appropriate?
It is pinching the purse, but would I be able to get those since they have been used for 8, possibly? And I will definitely come back for lessons later as well.
I can go as low as 10.
Oh. 10 deal, and I shake his hand.
As you do, he immediately takes out a handkerchief and wipes.
And
enjoy your book, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And what is thy name?
My name is Senor Pablo.
Senor Pablo.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
You too.
And being around you, I'm starting getting a Romanian accent as well. So sorry. No.
No problem. Have a good day, sir. What was your name again?
The name is Galthuk.
Sir Galtuk. And best of luck with your lessons.
And I wave to him and I, graciously leave. You said his name was Sir
Senor
Senor.
Pablo. So, that being said, at this point, Alex would have arrived at the manor, as it has arrived to be about midday.
What about us?
You guys would also be there, except for Galthuk, who is a little bit lost.
Damn it, it's not this again. I got lost. Shit.
Actually, can we quickly recon and say that I got another mask, but for Alex?
Sure.
Just to give her a present.
Okay. What can you describe the mask?
It's like, we'll say it's like a light blue on top, white on the bottom, with like feathers on the side.
Okay.
It looks like a flower. There you go.
That is perfectly acceptable.
All right, so I'll just deduct another 2 gold.
So she arrives. So are the mercenaries here yet?
Alex? Yep, we got you covered. Mercenaries, old members of House Chevalier. Used to work for us. Trustworthy men.
Thank you.
Let's go and meet them. Also, we did a little bit of shopping. My next assignment requires a maid to attend a masquerade, but I know you like this kind of stuff, so here. For your journey.
Her eyes do seem to light up some as you hand her. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Suddenly she gets serious and salutes. I promise I won't disappoint you, sir.
At ease. I trust you.
She gives
Though
us.
you will most likely be branded a fugitive by the Empire.
I mean, it's better than what I thought was going to happen.
Indeed. That's why I think that meeting up with the Celiador will be a good thing for you. My pops knows that you're good.
She nods, turns to head towards where she's being led by a few maids, before stopping, turning around, and quickly hugging you. Thank you for everything, Forte.
I guess I hug her back, and I just tell him, just do me a favor and survive.
I promise.
I trust you.
She lets go before turning back and heading out the door.
I would like to see the mercenaries and like debrief them. We could do that. We just say that I debriefed them about like the Feywild and stuff, and that they could either brave through it or try to find a way around. As well as like the jest of as well as I told them I will treat them to a night in the town when they get back.
Easy enough.
All right.
So, about another 30 minutes pass before Galthuk eventually arrives. You guys do have a few hours before your mission officially begins. Is there anything else you all would like to do?
Don't think so.
I might do some general shopping. I want to get some rope, some tinder, or not some tinder, some like matches, I guess.
Didn't you already do this shopping before?
I was not with everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I want to just do it like
How much rope are you getting?
How much is 100 feet?
2 gold.
Okay, 100 feet rope.
And
would I have time to attune to the new staff?
Yeah, you would have had plenty of time to do that.
Okay.
And a tinderbox is only 5 silver.
How many uses can I get out of a tinderbox?
A tinderbox is used. Flint, steel, it doesn't actually say. How many uses is a tinder? I'm going to say 5.
Sure. And I also want to pick up the winter clothes that we commissioned from the
Easy
the
enough.
journal fair. I think we already paid
Oh,
for it.
okay. No. There is. It seems to be a infinite number.
Oh, perfect. And what else? I think I'm good on rations. I have flour. Good for invisible shit.
Just in case.
That's always helpful. I guess I also want to get like paper and ink. I assume it's gonna be a lot cheaper here than in the other place.
Paper or parchment? Because parchment is much cheaper than paper.
I guess parchment.
How many sheets?
I don't know, 10.
That is 10 silver.
Okay.
And
ink I actually have, so.
okay. Is there anything else anyone else wants to do?
Do I wake up at any point?
Yeah, you likely would have woken up a little bit after Alex had left.
So he's kind of like wake up and he sort of like sit there for a little bit, and then I go back to exploring because I'm looking for like an office where they would have like papers.
What exactly are you exploring?
It's kind of like wandering the halls, like peeking inside like every door I pass. You know how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. I'm a sleuth.
You do not find anything of interest.
It's kind of like I lightly just like kick a wall at one point, just like keep going.
I stand by my previous statement. You find nothing of interest.
Just kind of mutter like, "Man," to myself. I just like keep looking for any kind of like paperwork and stuff.
Throughout Forte's home.
Yeah, like anywhere that it looks like they might have some kind of like papers.
Well, it is a guest house, so there do not appear to be any papers around.
I just kind of like give up and just like go back to the living room where it's sort of like, wait.
So, how are you guys going to prepare for your mission? If there's anything else you all need to do.
Now that I've attuned to it, can I feel anything different about this staff?
You do feel that it gives you a small boost to your magical abilities. It is a +1 staff.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to give Galthak and Nia their masks.
Do either of you have a reaction?
I look at this and I'm like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. It's even got room for my beard in here.
Well, it is made for the clerical.
Thank you.
It is made for the clergy. And I figure you like smithing, so I asked to give him a little bit of metallic flair.
Ah, you know me quite well.
I laugh and say, of course. And I look at Nia and I give her the unicorn mask. I think this will complement your outfit. Yeah.
Nia, are you there?
Yep. And I'm very like wearing the mask. Just like, I like this. It matches my skirt.
You're very welcome. And I'd like to debrief everyone on the mission. I mentioned that we're doing security for. Oh crap! I forgot his name.
Duke
Crook. Duke Crookbrook.
from Brook.
Kickbrook.
Conbrook.
Yeah. Conbrook. That's what it was. For Duke Conbrook, we are doing security for the gala. We are to keep all the guests safe, and I look at JJ, and I look at everyone in general. Try to get any kind of information you can on the dealings of this.
And he's kind of asked like, well, what kind of illegal stuff does Duke Cockblock do?
I laugh at the name because, yes, but also, no. Duke Conbrook, he does a lot of illegal things, and I doubt he'd be stupid enough to do anything with the military on security, especially on especially around another noble house, such as mine. But if we catch wind of anything, well, I do have the authority to prosecute illegal dealings.
So anything that isn't straight, we report. Yes.
Well, you tell me, and we'll think on it.
Fair enough.
Can I insight to think like what he might be doing at that location, or would I have no clue?
You wouldn't really have much of a clue as to exactly what he'd be doing.
Right.
How long will this gala be, or how long will it go on for?
How long did it say in the assignment?
It didn't specify, but from what you know, it could easily be a good number of hours.
This will be our entire night, most likely. Chances are it might also stretch into the morning hours as well.
Fair enough.
Are you all ready?
I look at JJ. Don't drink too much. Behave. Drink. Do all you can to find out the information that we need. If you if you discover any kind of secret threats against any of the attendants, let me know. If you uncover any unsavory dealings, let me know as well.
You got it, bud. As long as there's buffet and my wallets are filled, I'm all yours.
All right. Well, gonna have a longer night, so let's catch a few Z's before we go. 6 p.m. is the event start time. We will arrive there at 4, 2 hours early.
Okay. So you guys all sleep decently well. And as you head out, you do know it will take about an hour or two to actually walk to the mansion, as it is technically not actually in the capital. It's a decent bit away. But you are able to pretty easily get there. Sorry, just checking something. As you do, the sun has already begun to set, and you do see a number of individuals, male and female, entering slowly, each in a mask. At the front of this large manor, you see one large shield guardian, which you had noticed something similar in the Empress's hall, and a rather rotund man wearing a wolf pelt and a sword, looking fairly confident with himself. This, Forte, you know to be Duke Conbrook. Ah, Forte. How are you, my boy?
What would the Duke's first name be?
You actually never learnt his first name.
Oh, Duke Conbrook. It's been a long time. Glad to see you're doing well.
Please, call me Ferd.
Of course, Ferd. Sir Ferd.
And these must be your compatriots.
Yes. As you might be aware, we have been tasked with dealing with security for the event.
Yes, there are a number of other guards around just in case. But between you and me, there were some unsavory rumors going about.
Oh.
And, you can never really trust many of the people that I do so love inviting to my home. You know how it is. Certain nobles.
Of course, the nobility has to look out for itself. I understand.
Precisely. And I see you all brought masks and... Is that a child? As he looks at Nia.
I just kind of like stare him dead in the eyes and I just go, yeah.
She is actually a squire, I've taken upon. She's proven to be an excellent warrior, and I feel like this will be a good assignment for her to start.
I'm not so sure. A
Don't worry.
child should be privy to some of the sights and sounds.
And don't worry, she is no child. She is merely small.
Oh,
Not everyone could be blessed with I show and gesture to ourselves with our physique.
of course not. It takes time and effort to get muscles like ours.
Of course.
And the one with the beard is also not a child, I assume.
No, he is a dwarf from one of the from one of the clans that we've allied with.
And who might this lovely flower be? He takes a step forward towards the lever, reaching for your hand. Do you react?
I actually I look over at Forte. This
I gesture. She is a Goliath from one of the northern tribes. She
He he takes her hand and kisses it, and you can feel the oil on his hand.
she's gonna try her best to stifle any emotions that's about to rise.
Ferd, Sir Ferd, I must remind you our hallowed relations with the Goliaths.
You're right. Ancestors of the mighty titans and giants they are. I will simply note, as far as security goes, you are allowed to go in whatever room you like. Just try to stay to the first floor and don't go anywhere near the basement.
Is there something sensitive down there that I should be aware of?
I simply do not wish to encourage any guests to enter there.
But do you have any kind of security measures down there to ensure that they do not?
There's a guard that stands by the door, though he likely will be off duty at some point.
Would you like
Again,
to?
simply do try and keep any guests from there as well.
Would you like me to assign one of my men?
I would rather my personal regards for that. You all are here to watch for any suspicious or untoward individuals.
And
Af-
Sir Ferd, would you be able to inform us of these rumors that you heard?
There have been rumors of more Drakfordian assassins, potentially targeting nobility. After all, the security upon the Empress has tightened so much. Where else could those dastards target. If not, the Empress herself go for the next most important people, right?
I can see why this mission was assigned to House Chevalier.
Yes, it is worrying. I heard they employ tiefling demons and sneaky little elves. No offense. He looks towards you, Vesrin.
None taken.
After all, I did hear rumors that it was a female elf that took out the past Emperor and Empress. Some well-known assassin of Drakford's.
I have been debriefed, yes. Well, it'll be a great honor if I'll be able to put her 6 feet under.
Let's hope. Though, I do ask, and he moves towards you, putting his arm around your neck and kind of pulling you in closer, Forte.
Mhm.
You can feel the heat coming off his body, the sweat dripping off his face, and an unpleasant smell on his breath. He whispers in your ear, "Are you sure all these individuals can be trusted?"
I've vetted them myself, sir. I've already taken them on a mission, and I've seen their loyalty.
Including the ones that look like children.
This one, as I've mentioned, is my squire. As for the dwarf, he is a valued member and a member of the dwarven clergy. You cannot find one better character than him.
Is it wearing a tutu?
This was under the insistence of the squire. I figured that it would be an excellent decoy in case there were any assassins.
It certainly attracts attention.
Indeed. If our enemies believe it to be a child of a noble, they may try to kidnap them for ransom.
And you're sure it knows how to use that thing on its back?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just kind of like look up at Forte and just give him like this like little smile, like these big old cheeks. She's like, "Yes, I do know how to use this."
He lets go of you, Forte, and takes a step back. Well then, welcome, my friends, to our annual party. Do enjoy the hors d'oeuvres and the food, but you are on a job, so do keep any drinking to the sobering type, or as I call it, the less fun type. As he
Forte kind of
turns
lets out a fake laugh.
and walks into the mansion. That is
Before
actually...
we end, can we just say that like once his back is turned, like I'm just like clenching my fist at that whole thing?
You can.
I feel like everyone will be able to see that.
Immediately as he goes in, Leva turns around and doesn't release emotion, but just makes a sigh of like, thank God he's finally gone.
I also like whisper over to Leva, like, I know you're not from the Northern Tribe.
Wait, what's it? Sorry.
I know you're not from the Northern Tribe, but I figured it was the quickest way.
I thank you. That one.
You do note... Actually, I would like everyone to make a quick perception check. Nia, you notice as the Duke, I apologize, walks away, he grabs onto something that you could only describe as a shiny around his neck. Forte, Galthuk, and Vesrin, you all notice him seemingly grabbing at a necklace of some type. And as he does, the shield guardian appears to respond, following him and ducking underneath, heading indoors.
Is that the thing that's guarding the basement?
You don't know. That was the thing that was standing outside with him.
I just kind of like, I'm just like, There's something suspicious about that necklace. And I just turn to Forth and just like, have you seen it before? It looks weird.
An automaton.
Forte, make a history check.
Oh, I am good at those. Let me see. 21. Ooh.
You recall that is what is usually used to actually, the necklace specifically, is usually used to control the robots and the automatons around.
I tell that to everyone.
Good to know.
Interesting.
I take good note of that.
And with that, as your mission and your night begins, with some information gotten, we will end tonight's session. Partially because I did not bring a water bottle and that voice fucking kills. So I hope you guys had fun. Next week, you
GG.
guys have some decisions to make and some fun to be had, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Time to wreck a party.
Potentially.
All right, everybody. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick thank you. Thank you so much for coming out here, hanging out, being a part of the group. We have Doc doing the GM and a bunch of cool folks doing the rest. Let's go ahead and throw up that stream ending. I definitely want to thank out there in the world my biggest supporters for D&D, Rob401Z, Patreon supporters, Lewis B, Overwatch Scrub Club, Faithful Kasuni, and Ted. Definitely enjoy having you guys part of my group, part of my community. Y'all are amazing. For Mischief Makers, Top Biddies, we got Faithful, not supposed to say the name, Bizarre Andrew, Mike W, Seriously Not a Robot, William and Harry, we got Papa SMX, Murray Chen, One, Cannon Fodder, Sky Shredder Tag, and Chikorita. Thank you everybody for being a huge part of my community, helping things, progress. Good things coming down the pipeline. I can't wait. Keep in mind we got some merch here for the we also got some merch here for the Elements Asunder. So yeah, definitely. Can't wait to see you next week when we go to the party. Thank you again. Okay.